Grab your cosmic coffee and get ready, because today, the W.O.G network takes its first real leap forward. With the new relay station coming online, we begin laying out the future of our communication grid and how the base will grow around it. And a special guest makes an appearance. Someone who might just change how we see the world from above. We'll also take a look at the long-term plans for the site, including updates to the greenhouse and how it fits into the operation. Finally, for the first time in this series, we roll out a major piece of equipment, a mobile assembly unit designed to speed up construction far from home. No more hauling parts back and forth, just build wherever the work takes us. So sit back, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's episode.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So we're here at the outpost that we captured in the last episode. Now I've come through here and I've taken a lot of the stuff out, and I've actually unlocked everything, so now I own everything here. There's just a couple of items left. But I've been thinking about what I want to do with this area, so I'm thinking of making it into a broadcast center. So the way I'm going to have this work is we're going to have broadcast centers out of any of these outposts like this that we capture. They're going to have about a 10K range with the broadcast with the antenna, so that way we can actually get in contact with our actual base up there. And then we're going to have actual antenna locations spread out the area around here if we want to link or get either farther. So for one of the ways for me to start attacking the bases that we come up with, I'm probably going to need to use AI drones to come in and help with me, because they're going to eventually start spawning in actual drones themselves. So me being by myself, it's going to be hard for me to take out the drones and to take out the weapons on the base. So if I have a small little fleet or area of drones coming with me that might be able to take some of the fire and some of the parts off of me, then I can come in and pop shot at least the base defenses, and then getting rid of the antennas and stuff will make it so I can get rid of the drones also. So to do that, I want to set up an actual radio or a broadcast system. So that's why I want to make this into a broadcast building. So again, this is going to be like a hub. We're going to have the main broadcast or headquarters up at our base, and that one's going to have a bigger radius. But then we're going to have these hubs out here, and then again we'll put in antennas going around to help with that. That way I can also fly in a fleet myself. And that'll also help if we find any other mine sites or anything, and we want to have drones come and take stuff from them and then bring them to the base or wherever we want to drop them off. We can have all that set up and be able to track them and everything. So to start out with that, I'm going to go ahead and gut this building out. Now this used to have actual antennas and stuff. It was out this way. That's what, oh no, it was out this way. Because it was actually what I hid behind when I was getting the guns taken off. So I took all that out, but I do have most of that material in here, and I do have iron, nickel, and silicon in the rover here with our survival kit, so if we need to build anything light and easy like that. And I still have a lot more supplies in here, so I got some steel tubes and stuff that I can't build with the actual survival kit. And then anything else, we'll take a list, we'll go back to the base and grab and then bring back. So let me go ahead and gut out as much of this as we can. I want to keep the structure how it is, so we're not going to change anything on the outside of the structure. We'll probably take this big gun off. I don't know if we're going to need it. So from what I've seen with the vanilla enemies, I'm not going to have much threat of actual enemies finding me and coming towards and trying to shoot up my base like I would with MES or any of their enemy mods. So I think it'll be safe for me to take the big gun out. I'm still going to keep this turret, and I'll probably keep this one just in case if we are doing a dogfight or anything and something does happen to come this way, we have a little bit of base defense. And if we do find out that we do get attacked, I can always add in more turrets around it. But I want to keep this roof free because this is where we're going to put up the antenna array and all that stuff. So we'll first go and cut out everything and gut out the building from the inside. And then we'll start building up our building itself. We'll start building everything in here that we're going to need. So let me go ahead and gut it out real quick, and then we'll come back to designing and building what the inside interior of the building's going to be. Alright, I went ahead and cleared it out. I took out the roof just because it wasn't acting right, but we can always rebuild it. It wasn't hard or complex how it was. I dropped this battery down, so this one was up here on the top floor. So I just technically dropped it down and then merge blocked it into the building here, so now it's actually connected. I'm going to be dropping this one down next, but I'll go ahead and show you how you can do this. Now before, you could always do mods, either be able to pick or move stuff. There's a mod that lets you do that, or even one that you can just detach the battery again without actually grinding it down. The way you can do this here in vanilla is we'll take this block out here.
Inventory full.
And run out of inventory. I'll have to take the this block out. So this will actually make it drop. Now I do have a mod that makes it so our grids will actually drop. It makes it more realistic, so when you cut stuff like that, sometimes it will float in the air. But this mod will actually make it drop a little bit. Again, nothing real major, just helps it to grinding stuff down. But then we can drop that like that. And then all we have to do is, if we want to move it, I don't know if we can technically push this. Let's see here. No, we can't. No. See, that didn't work. Killed myself by trying to move a battery. Okay, so like I was saying, you can try moving it that way, but since that didn't work, we can always build us a piston. So I do want to bring this battery in at least another block to right here. So we can pull in a piston to pull it in further. But first, let's go ahead and build us a merge block. No, we don't want a merge block yet. So we're going to merge block it back here. So let's go ahead and build the piston real quick, so we can attach it to the battery if we want, but I'm just going to attach it over here against this wall. Now we don't need the head part, we don't need to weld up the head part at least. Just need to weld up the piston part. Now that's going to get us close enough. I think I could get it, set it in right with merge blocks. Oh yeah, it's only coming to this spot, so yeah, I should be able to get that set up. So we're going to use a mag plate. Now this block does not need to be welded up or anything. We'll just bring this back. We'll lock on it. And we'll bring it back the other way until we get it to where we want it. Alright, so about right there. A bit too far. Now we can just add merge blocks, so we can put a merge block right here, like that, and then we'll put this one right here. Alright, so those are merged. We'll undo this and just cut all this off. So we would actually need power cells if we tried to tear these down, so this way we kept our power cells and we kept the charge on the battery, since they are charged up a little bit more than they would have been if we actually grinded them down. So next we'll go ahead and add our H2O2 generator, because I do want to add that here so we can still have hydrogen if we ever need to refill it up. And then we're going to put us a cargo container down here on the bottom floor. Alright, so we got that one out of the way. We'll probably add us another cargo container down here on the floor. Just because, well, we're not going to need it. We're using this cargo container out here because we had one attached to this turret. So this might change because I don't know if we really need this one here. But again, that's where we're going to add ammo. I might change the type of cargo container. So let me go ahead and build this floor back. Alright, so I think down in this area, we're going to call this more of the transmitter or the computer room area. So we'll just put in our broadcast controllers down here, any type of electronics, and then we'll have up here as our main top floor. We might actually have a little bubble up that we can see out, and then we'll put the antennas on top of that. So the second floor would be like where our bedrooms and everything is, and then we'll have like a little control room at the top. So let me go ahead and just build this out a little bit. Again, nothing too fancy. We can always add more stuff down here if we need it. But this will be like where we have our broadcast controller. Don't know if we want to put in... We could put us a medical room down here maybe. That way we can spawn here if we really need to. We'll put maybe some programmable blocks down here, some timer blocks, and stuff like that. We'll want to put in our AI block down here. So we've been working on this all day and throughout the night, but I got everything all set up here. So as you can see, outside looks pretty much the same. We got a little bit different configuration for the roof, but I think it actually came out pretty well. I only kept the one turret. I didn't keep the other two, so we changed this one up to a actual wind turbine, and then we also have some solar panels, so we can actually make sure we keep power down here. Get an unknown signal that way, but the sun's coming up no matter it's raining, so we're not getting a lot of actual power up here, but I do have the solar panels tied to these lights also. So when it gets dark, these lights will come on, and of course when they start receiving power, these lights turn off like now. I can adjust that a little bit more so they actually stay on and a little overcast like this, but I think this will be okay right now. We have a strong unknown signal that way. It's 36 kilometers. Alright, we're just going to ignore that for now. So, that's something we'll get into while we have that. But let's go ahead and come on in and show you what we've built. So we'll come up our new steps here. So this is going to be like our front little patio porch. We got antennas everywhere, again, because this is a broadcast building. So we're definitely going to need to make sure it looks like it. So I think we did pretty good there. We have our W.O.G relay station. So that's what the name of this building is. So we'll come through our doors here. On this side we have a couple of bunks that we can have people sleep in. We have bathroom, shower back this way. Then over here we have our control room. But before we go into there, we'll come down here. We have our little couch with the TV. We have a kitchen back here, which is dark. I might have to add some type of light, probably underneath this block or underneath these two blocks that we can kind of simulate to come out this way. But we do have our kitchen here. I don't think we have anything in the kitchen. Now I'll probably want to put some food or something into there. Then if we come into here, you know, as we open the door, the lights turned on. This is our server room in our broadcast center. So we have all of our servers here. Then we have our broadcaster and everything like that in here. Again, this I have the lights turned off to save power when we're not in there. So the lights will turn back off. And then when we come back up here, we have our actual broadcast stations. So we got room for 3 people to come and sit down up here. We got a couple more machinery and stuff up here just to kind of make it look a little bit nicer instead of just having a blank wall. And then we have our new friend component here. So as you can see, we got somebody sitting in the chair here. We'll get to him here in a minute, but we also have a cargo container and a refill station here. So we can come up here and refill. There is an H2O2 generator in here, and we do have some ice in it, so we can always come in here and grab some oxygen or some hydrogen if you need it. So I think it came out pretty well. Again, it's nothing big and nothing technical about it, but we're not going to really be up here that much. This is just going to be a spot that we can have our signals transmit everywhere. And going to be the new temporary home of our new friend here. So this here is W.O.G. If you don't know, W.O.G is kind of like my mascot slash helper assistant. He's the one, he's the voice that you hear in the beginning and ending of my videos lately. So, and he's also the first one to greet you if you sign on to my Discord. So he's going to be here as a extra camera view. So we'll pop his extra camera view here. As you can see, we're on the outside and the spectator camera. So we can actually move this on in. So if you've seen my Out-of-Or series, you notice I have a drone that captures images from the sky. He's the one that controls that. So we're going to kind of bring in the same kind of thing here. And also, the other great thing about having him in here and having him in the broadcast center is that if we make any type of drones or any ships with cameras on them, he can tap into those and we can see the views from those cameras. So we can actually put up cameras around bases, again on drones and rovers and stuff like that. And then we can also have a view from those as long as we're within our broadcast area. So that's going to be a nice new little touch we can add to everything. So he's going to be living here for now until we actually make a permanent broadcast center up at our base. But that's all that's going on with this. So with that, let's go ahead and head on back home. We might try and get this unknown signal, but the strong one, I don't see it no more. I don't see the strong unknown signal anymore. But that's why we had that strong unknown signal, because now we're in multiplayer. So now we'll have those unknown signals also. So let's go ahead and head over here to that. So this is going to be up on the mountain up here, so I don't know how much we'll be able to get up there. So that might be an issue. But I did also make some other changes to this. So the day and night cycle's been increased. So now we're on a 4-hour cycle where we were on a 2-hour cycle before. That'll give us a little bit more daylight to do the stuff that we need to do. And also I'm going to make it, I was going to put the sleep mod in here, but because of W.O.G, I'd have to put him to sleep every time we wanted to go to sleep. So we're just going to kind of fake it if we want to not work through the night and just switch to day and night cycles. Again, that will mess with our buffs, but at this stage, I'm not too concerned about the buffs. Well, Cragleys. That's not good. Oh, it's kind of crashed up in here. I don't have... If I had my grabby hands, I'd grab it off. Just grind some of this off here. Extra little parts that we're going to need. Need to just find the button. Here's the cargo container. Again, I'm really going after these because I need some wheat and vegetables. I haven't been able to find those yet. But I did actually find wheat seeds. I think they're seeds from a unknown signal while we've been building on the broadcast center down there. So we can go ahead and plant that. That's going to help. But we still need to find vegetables. But wheat is one of the bigger main components that we need to build most of the stuff. Found the button. Didn't get nothing. So that's gonna help we be able to start making some good food. But just grind this down and then we're gonna head back up to our farm up top and start on the next stage that we want to do for this episode. Alright, so we made it back up here. And as you see here, we got a TV here with a to-do list. So what I was thinking of doing is, get me something to eat, is back over in this direction. It flattens out a good deal a bit. And what we're going to do is build a industry park So it's where we're going to have our refineries and assembler shop and stuff like that. So we're going to build it away from the farm here. We'll also have stuff aligned along the top here, wind turbines and stuff like that. So we're going to build us a community, but we're going to extend it out a little bit more. Since we have the actual iron mine down this way, right there. So I think that'll make this look a little bit more lived in, having roads that we can create later on coming through here. And then with this building, I've decided to keep this as our kind of a mess hall. So down here we're going to have tables, a kitchen, and all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be where we come to eat, and then we're going to have different buildings for every single project. So like the assembler shop's going to be where we go to assemble new vehicles, and of course we'll have the refineries, that'll be separate, and then we're going to have to do a power plant to power everything together. And we're not going to have them connected in the general way. We're going to come up with a creative way to connect everything together. But I think the best way for me to build all that stuff, instead of having to come down here to this assembler or to try to pack stuff into our rover, we're going to make us a mobile assembler. So if we come over here to our screen, you see that we have main structures that we're going to try to get: our assembly shop, our power plant, ore refinery, and the gas refinery. For the gas refinery, we're going to have another sub over here to find a ice lake, because that's how we're going to have to get the ice for the gas refinery, because our ice that we fill up, that little mine's not going to be enough. And then we have our vehicles, which would be the mobile assembly trailer, and then the truck to pull the trailer. So since the assemblers can only be done on large grid, we're going to have to convert this large grid and then add it to a small grid trailer. So we're going to build that over here. But let's go ahead and take this stuff down for a minute. So let's put our speed module up here. And then we're going to put the assembler down below it. And we're just going to use this assembler here, because it's going to be more compact than the industrial assembler, and we don't need nothing that big, but we do need something better than the basic assembler, since we can put the speed mods on this one. We're only going to put 3 speed mods on it though, but that still should be faster than any other thing that we would have going on. So let's put these on like this, and then we'll weld all of this up. Now that we had that, we're going to put the front here so we can be able to back the trailer up closer to it, or the truck up to it. So this is going to be the back part. We're just going to use this to hold everything up. So now we're going to put on hinges on either side like this. This is how we're going to convert it over to the small grid. Take out the metal pieces. Now because we want to move components through, we're going to add on medium heads to the end. It also won't make it look as weird. So we're going to make this in like a fifth wheel kind of motion. So we want to put this head going up. So we'll put this one up and notate the angle that it's going up as. So we're at plus 90. So we'll change this one to plus 90, and this will kind of lock it in. And we'll also put in the hinge lock, and it'll lock it also. So we're going to need power to do it. We can use small grid batteries, but I think using large grid is going to help a little bit easier. And we're also going to have this conveyor in a certain way too, so everything moves the right way. We can put large grid batteries back here. Since we're going to have the tires back here, that'll leave more weight closer to the back, so we can put the tires evenly back here, and that'll help with the center of mass with how the assembler set up. We're not going to put them on the front, but these two back here, I think is going to give us more than enough power, but that also is going to make it so we're going to have to build us probably generator trailers too that we might have to come and hook these up to, and we're also going to be able to hook this up to buildings too. So this is going to be multi-purpose. We're also going to add motors onto this too, so we can always bring in hydrogen. That's where the gas refineries are going to come in, because we're going to need to use the gas for power and to build our ships to get up into the atmosphere and everything. So now that we got this, let's go ahead and start converting everything over to small grid so we can get the trailer and the wheels put on. So I'm going to have this automatically sort everything in. So up here on the front, this is where we're going to have our ingots that's going to run into the assembler. And then from the back here is where we're going to have our components. So up here we're going to need to get us a sorter. So this one will go this way, so we don't have to worry about any of the components coming back into the cargo containers we have up here. And then this one's going to go the other way, so we don't have to worry about pushing ingots or anything extra back to the back, so we could just have our components come to the back. So I'd like to add one like this. I think that'll work, and then we'll make our hitch come out to the top of that, and then we can put this one back here. Like that, and that's where our components are coming out. We don't really need much as the outport storage, because again, we're just going to be building on demand, and then the ingots aren't going to take up too much room, but we can always add more cargo containers up here if we need to, and they don't need to have the big ports. They can always be done by a small port, so we can always add one like this and then make the trailer hitch come down from here, depending on how we design the rest of the trailer over this way. So let's go ahead and connect all this together, start getting our trailer ready so we can get our wheels put on. So we're just going to come down here like this. So we want to make sure that we come down low enough that we can get underneath this, but not make it a huge gap. So that should be good. Now we come to the issue here where we try to match these two together. So what we can actually do is cut that out, do a merge block, put the merge block here like this, this one here like that. We'll put these in, and these will merge it, and that way it'll lock the top container and hinge down to this container and hinge. Probably also, we'll lock that down in a minute. Okay, so now that's locked, so both of the hinges and the small grid should be all locked together. We just need to make sure we connect these. So we do the same thing here. We went down right here. Probably come down like this. We should be all connected. So you see how the edges are showing that they're connected? So if these two blocks weren't connected to that one, it would actually show one of these bars right there. So that still confirms that everything is connected. So let's build all this up real quick, just so we can have a good steady frame that we don't have to worry about making a small cut and it destroys everything. Since we have this connected to this end, we should be able to take these merge blocks off without it breaking everything. There we go. Now that we got our frame, we need to worry about how we want our tires to come out. Now our tires would be are going to be 3x3s. We're going to want them back here on the back. So the last set of tires are going to be right here. I don't want them to go all the way out this way. I still want them kind of tucked in. And we'll probably be using the large suspensions also on them. So maybe 2 out will be big enough. That still might be a little bit too far out. Might be able to just do it with how I have the frame here. Yeah, I think that'll work, right? So again, I don't want him too far out, but I definitely need to make him come far out, because this is going to still be a little bit top heavy. But because I didn't put this second module, or the 4th module down here on the bottom, it won't be as tall as if it would be if we had it. But I think having the 3 modules for a mobile unit would be good. Because even if I had all 4 modules, then why would we build a regular assembler plant if we can just have these? So that's how I'm going to make up for that. So let me go ahead and weld up everything I got here. I need to get these batteries up and welded so we can get them charged also. And then we can see what we're looking at. Alright, now that we got all that set up, we're going to put in some pistons right here. This is what's going to use to pull the trailer up for when we park it. But let's keep on building this up and try to get these batteries charged. Did I ever put this one on recharge? No, I didn't. So that way we can grab that energy while we're waiting here. So now we need to finish building up our frame. Might bring this back another one. Oh, we're gonna need more steel plate here. We might be a little bit too close where we can't put those there. We do half blocks instead. So just give us a little bit more stability and structure for our trailer here. We don't want it falling apart. But with those locked there, I want to change out these blocks. That. Do the same thing over here. Change all these out. So I wanted to round off the trailer a little bit. So I was thinking you could put something like this here. Those there like that. I don't want to put too much weight on this, because again, this thing's going to weigh a whole lot just by it being like this. And then that way, I think we can hide our engines and our fuel tanks up here. These are going to be too big. I was hoping to do something like that. So we might change this out a little bit. Instead of having those round edges, we can put in 4 large tanks. Oh, we're gonna have to move that one over. Now this will definitely give us more than enough gas that we need. I don't even think we need this much, but I think that'll just kind of decorate it out a little bit. And then we'll put some engines here on the back. So we can always put the engines like that. Might put 2. Since we got more than enough tanks, we'll have 4 engines. That'll help with to give us a little bit more power. Gonna need to put in conveyors right here. We might be able to put this in conveyor along the top. I'm gonna have to, because these are just sticking up here. This little bit up here is the only thing holding them on. But let me weld this up and then we'll see what it looks like. Alright, we might change this a little bit out here. Put in these. And then that way it hold on to the engines right here and we can get rid of that little top bit. We don't have to keep adding stuff to the top. So I'm going to make it the least amount of weight on the top I know these tanks don't help, but we shouldn't have to put anything else more up top. And then we'll just pipe up these corners here, and then that way we can get our gas up to our engines. Our engines will give us a little bit more power for our large batteries we got back here. We'll put a connector back here so we could connect this up, or that would be our access to get to the assembler stuff. And then we just need to make our hitch. And then that's pretty much the main part of the trailer. So let me just finish all that up here. Alright, so it's becoming morning time here. I worked through most of the night to get this all set up, but here we have our F.O.R.G.E. So let's go ahead and check this out here. So we have our hitch here. We have F.O.R.G.E. written on top of the hitch. We've got some solar panels up here, and I think it came out pretty well. Of course, our tanks. Here's the back end of it. So I think this will work out really well for us to build our base out some more, especially out that way where we can have more access to a assembler. So we'll go over some options that we have here, some things that we can do. So you can see we got some panels and stuff up here. There are lights set up. It's set up so once it gets hitched up, so we have a rotor right here. So when we make our truck, we just put the rotor part on the back of it to hitch it up so we can hide the rotor in this part. And that'll keep the hitch on the truck a little bit lower profile. We got buttons here to raise and lower the pistons here. And again, once the hitch gets hooked up, the running lights on the trailer will turn on. And then when it unhitches, they should turn off. Once we get the truck, we'll be able to test that more. We have buttons back here. So we have where we can turn the engines on and off. I also have them programmed that once the batteries get down to a certain percentage, the engines will turn on. And then once they charge back up, the engines will turn off. That'll help keep us any fuel that we have in here. Of course, again, I'm going to need fuel and all that stuff to make sure that's set up right. I don't have this one colored. I'm going to have to fix that. Alright, so we got that fixed there. So again, we got buttons here to turn the engines on and off, and they should be programmed right. Again, I'm going to have to wait till we have fuel to get that, see if that works. Then we have our lights that we can actually turn on and off. So our main lights on the outside. These out here. Again, I do have these also programmed with the solar panel. So since it's dark out, those should turn on. So now we got them turned on. So once the solar panels get some light on them, these lights will turn off. That way at night we can see, and then when it's daytime they'll turn off, and that'll help save us a little bit of battery power. Again, you can also manually turn them on and off back here. So you can disable that block and then turn them on and off. Right here we have our batteries to be recharged. So if we have it set up to this connector here, or even, ouch, stuck. Or even the small connector over here, we can have it recharge the batteries that way. And then over here we have our conveyor settings. So as we were building them before, we can only have components come out to this cargo container here on the back and to this connector. So that way if we're hooked up to a base, we can pull it out from whatever building we have it connected to. I also have this line running underneath here, as you can see with the arrows. That'll make it so ingots can only run back this way. Sometimes ingots will get stuck into the assemblator if we cancel something. That way we can recycle them back out to the cargo container up here. This one right here is a free flow, so I could take ingots in or out from here. And having this set up down here also means that if we're connected to a base or refinery, we can bring ingots in too, without having it connected to this line too. But this is just a secondary backup, so we can get into it if we need to. So we can actually pull them in and out from right here. And of course we could technically pull them out from here because the pass through there will pass anything that'll come back through. But those are the adjustments that I have in it right now. Again, a lot of that could be updated or changed as everything goes by, and I will have this up on the Steam Workshop. I'll have the link down below. Don't know if it'll be added right away, but just keep looking down below and that link will be there, and you can download this F.O.R.G.E if you want to. But again, I think it came out pretty well. Came out a little bit better than I actually thought it would. I hope it drives and everything really well. That's the second step that we're going to do. So I might not release it on Steam until we build the truck to pull it. But that's going to be on the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, next episode we're going to start working on the truck to pull this, and we'll probably start building our first base out at the site. That's going to be out that way. Probably more out that way where those trees are. But again, thank you guys for watching. See you next time, and you guys have a great week.
Relay Station 1 is online, and our first major piece of equipment, the mobile assembler trailer, is ready for service. With portable production now part of the plan, the next phase of expansion becomes easier than ever. In the next episode, we'll build the cab to pull the new trailer and begin work on the very first structure in the industrial zone, the true start of everything we'll be creating out there. So go ahead, grab yourself a bowl of frontier stew, relax for a moment, and we'll pick things up in the next episode.